Hello and welcome to episode number 3 of the Chase and 8 podcast, where we will be talking about, or we'll be breaking down the defense, the defensive positions, what we expect this year. Hopefully, going to be a huge year for them boys. Then we'll finish up with the week 0 matchups, and we'll just wrap it up from there. All right, I'm your host TJ Mullins. I'm here with my co-hosts Ryan Mullins and Alex Polson. Fellas, how we doing tonight?
Doing great, man.
Got to watch some football yesterday, so doing
Exciting
great.
times.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. It had some good ones yesterday, too.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to AP, birthday yesterday.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate it,
Get in
fellas.
the comments, wish him happy birthday.
Yes, sir.
So where I'm going to start, I don't know if y'all saw it yesterday, but John Williams, five-star safety, commits to the University of Texas. It, yeah, boo, right there. But it was, to me, it's not. I'm not going to say it's not a big deal because I mean, great player, obviously. One of the best players in the entire country. And so it hurts to lose him, especially how it all went down. There's a big deal with the crystal balls coming out, and I think he kind of got. I wouldn't say mad about it, obviously, but he saw the crystal balls coming out to Oklahoma, and then he started to kind of backtrack a little bit, and I think it was kind of a weird deal. But where I was going with this is, I want to start with the breaking down of the defense. I want to start at the safety position, and I think this is one of the reasons, or one of the big reasons why, you know, losing him, losing his commitment is not the end of the world because of where our safety room is at the moment. I think it's one of the, if not one of the deepest parts of this team. It's got to be way up there. So Ryan, I'm going to start with you, man. When you're looking and you're breaking down the safety room on Team 130, what are your thoughts? What are your expectations? And who do you think is going to, step up to the plate this year and really make a big impact?
Yeah, like you said, it's probably one of the deepest positions that we have, not just on the defense, but I would say either that or the wide receiver position group would probably be our main two that are just loaded. Obviously, Billy, he's a staple. He's a
Yep.
captain, a leader of the defense. And then me and you and also Alex have had back and forth about who's going to start beside him. I'm a big Peyton Bowen fan. Last time he played, or last year when he played, he always located the ball. It seemed every time he was on the field, stuff seemed to happen. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I like that. I like that itch for the ball. Find the ball, whether that's hitting the ball out, interceptions,
Yep.
whatever. Now, RSJ, he's a different caliber than a Peyton Bowen because he's a lot bigger.
Yep.
6'1", 220, coming downhill. He likes to hit. So I also like having that guy out there. But this is now the first podcast we did. I said I have questions on this defense, and this is probably one of the biggest questions. Who's that other safety? Because last year, how many safeties did we play? Key Lawrence, Pearsons.
Vickers. McCarty
Uh,
Vickers.
yeah, I mean, and we were still breaking that at some point each game there was breakdown in coverages. The middle of the field always seemed to be open. Now whether that falls on the safeties or linebackers, it depends on what defense they were in. Still though, the middle of the field has been a weak spot for this defense all 3 years that BV's been here. So, and I think it is that other. I think Billy is a lockdown. I'm not a big Billy believer yet. He had a really nice year last year, and I think why is because he had a couple pick sixes. Other than that, he was pretty quiet, which I know we've talked. That's also can be a good thing when you don't hear your name
Yep.
because that means they're not targeting you doing your job,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
right?
Yep.
But it's a question mark for me. That other safety position, are they going to be able to cover? Are they going to be able to know where to be? Are they going to be have football IQ and not? We've seen it so many times in the past 10 years where people are like looking at the quarterback and the guys behind them, and we're
Mm,
like, well, what are you doing?
Hmm.
You know, I mean, have a little bit of football IQ, and I'm thinking we're getting more of those types of players.
yeah.
They look. Billy is that type of player.
Yep. Yeah,
You
and
know,
I think that's why Payne Bowen was able to come in as a true freshman last year and make as big of an impact as he did in
absolutely.
football. And that's we'll get to the corner. His brother Eli, that's what they say, man. They just say he's not as big as Peyton, but like football IQ wise, man, off the charts. And
Off
so
the charts.
I agree with you. We need more guys like that in the program that understand the concepts, that understand what BV, and Brandon Hall is asking for them to do. And you talked about RSJ, and you talked about Payne Bowen maybe starting at that other safety spot, but there's a lot of young guys in there that are hungry. One that stood out to me, and I mean, he jumped off the screen in the spring game when he hit Bauer Sharp, Michael Boganowski. He's similar to RSJ in build, bigger safety, physical, willing to come downhill and hit somebody. And but then there's like Reggie Powers in there. That's kind of the same deal. Smaller but has a nose for the football. You know,
Jaden Hardy.
Jaden Hardy. Yep, Jaden
Mhm.
Hardy, another guy that that's making some noise. And I'm really interested to see the depth chart come out. Probably tomorrow is when that's going to come out on Monday, and I'm interested to see where each one of those guys is in the depth chart. But Alex, man, I want to turn to you. Kind of, what's your opinion on it? What's your expectations? Who do you think is going to make a big impact?
Man, like Ryan said, man, I'm a big Peyton Bowen fan. Bought high into him when we first got him. So that's where I'm leaning to, help us in the backfield and stuff. But I like them young cats coming in, like you said, Hardy, Boganowski, they call him Boogeyman. I mean, he'll knock your block off.
Yeah, you
I'm
will.
not really worried about them safeties, man. We got a lot of vets, kind of like Ethan Downs. He's got that locked up. I feel like Billy's got that locked up, and I think even with Robert Spears Jr. Spears Jennings,
Hmm.
Spears Jennings. Yep. Yep.
I think, man, with him out there, I think he'll improve our defense for sure because he can cover a little bit better than what Key Lawrence could do for sure.
Oh, for sure.
But
And I
it's
think
all about him. It's all about him staying healthy. We haven't seen him
Right.
play in 3 years, whatever. So this is our first test. So I think with Peyton having some experience last year, and if Robert doesn't do his job, you can slide somebody over there. Or you even got Kendall Doby. You can slide back
Right.
there. They're moving Woody Washington around. He's playing every position possible. So I'm
Yep.
not really worried, man. We got, like you said, this is the depth, man. Is just we haven't had that in a long time, and that kind of goes back to Jonah Williams going to Texas instead of OU.
Yep. Yep.
It's just this deep there, man. They
Yep.
kind of got their guys for the next 3-4 years on locks. You know what I mean? So,
Yep.
and then I don't know, and the baseball deal too kind of helps as
Yep.
well. So.
Yep. Dude, you made a great point there. Staying healthy. It's been an issue, because even Billy, I think that was 2 years ago that he got hurt on the kickoff return,
Mhm.
and so he had to miss some time. Luckily now we have the depth
Yeah.
that we do, because back when Billy went down, man, it got ugly quick.
Even
You know,
last year
so
too, with
Yep.
Danny
Yep.
getting hurt.
Oh,
got a
yeah,
lot of, we
absolutely.
got a lot of depth out there, man, on the defense.
Yep.
I'm not. A lot of people might be worried about him. I think like Ryan said, I have some concerns about the linebacker room just because of what happened last year with Danny going down two
Yep.
games. The 2 games he went down, we lost. So it's really about who's going to step up on linebackers,
Yep.
safeties, all that good stuff.
So, all right, wrapping it up here. Who you got? Who you got starting? Ryan, who you got starting? Starting safeties.
It's Billy and RSJ will be, I think, if you're first, and then but Peyton will play just as much as RSJ.
Mhm.
So that I think that's who they're going to roll out. And hey, I like it. I like RSJ. It's a big body out there who's not afraid to put his nose down and help with the run game. So
Yep.
that's who
I
I
like
think.
Cool. Alex, who you got?
I agree with him. You know,
Yep.
I feel like those guys in the backfield, they or in the back, they definitely find the ball, and that's something that we haven't really had in a while. And I like those guys going to get the ball, man. Able to
Yep.
get their head around, on deep passes and just go find the ball. You know what I mean?
Move your hips,
Yeah.
keep your head forward.
Be aggressive, man.
Right. Hey, that ball could be your ball too. We hadn't had that. Last year was the first year since we led the country in interceptions. Y'all know
Exactly.
that.
Yep.
So that was the first year that we did that,
Yeah.
and that's a credit to cornerback coach and Brandon Hall, Valai.
Valai. Yeah.
Yeah,
Valai.
give them guys credit because the guy Manning and
Oh boy. Yeah.
Grinch,
Oh,
it was really really bad.
it was
Yeah.
really
And
bad.
look at USC, still bad. Now I know they're gone, but last year,
Yeah.
2 years, very bad. A lot of it has to do with coaching, and I think we got the right coaches.
I do too.
I agree. Yep, I agree. I think us three and kind of just I think the fan base as as a whole is expecting big things from that safety room. I mean, and not just this year but years to come because we already got our guy in the class of 2025. I mean, Amarian Robinson is damn near a 5-star right now. So it's like I mean, you
He
know
will be.
he will. I think he will be too. And so that's kind of what I'm like. I'm not you know the safety room is going to be good. It's not going to be good just this year. It's going to be good for multiple years down the road.
Yeah.
So I think we're expecting big things from that room this year. Let's move to the linebackers. So Ryan, I want to get your input on this. Obviously, you got probably the Buckets front runner right now. If it's not him, it's probably Harold Perkins from LSU. But Danny Stutzman is the leader in that room. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You know, 3-year starter. He's just a dog, man. And I mean, I know who's going to be next to him. I think I know who's going to be next to him. But I want to get your input and what's your expectations for that room this year?
Big expectations for that room, huge. I mean, and it starts with Stutzman, of course, and
Mm-hmm.
I expect him to have a hell of a year. If and hopefully, he
Yep.
stays healthy, and because if he does, I think this is his third year in this defense, and I think he's going to be playing so fast and flying around, leading that defense. I think he's
Hair on
going to have a
fire.
phenomenal year. Yeah, but across from him, I got Kip Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I watched that spring game. I watched some games from last year. The dude, really, you could tell he was raw in the where he didn't exactly know like the defense. You know what I mean? But he was
But his
just playing.
instincts were so good though
He
that
was just playing.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's just playing out there. He don't really
yeah,
know like exactly what he's supposed to be doing, but he's so good like instinct. He's got such good instincts that he's
right.
he's still making plays out there.
Hmm.
Absolutely. So, and he gained about 15 pounds, is what they're saying in that area, about 220, 225. I fully expect him to be, and he's still running what 4.5, four
Yeah.
four. So, yeah, I expect it to be 10, and I expect huge things from those two.
Yep.
I expect that linebacker group to be one of, if not the best in the SEC.
Yep. I agree. And
And then
Alex,
behind them, Lewis Cart. That's another
right.
thing you talked about. We've got good depth.
Hmm.
Because it's not like there's a huge drop off when you go to Lewis Carter and Cody McKenzie. They have playing time. They're in the second, third year of this defense, so they should have um, they definitely have more. Um,
They're gonna have a role. They're gonna have a role this year.
not just a role, but like a leader type mentality, like understanding.
Right.
I know this defense. I know where
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be. I know what I'm supposed to do.
Hmm.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. I agree. It's just such a 180 from where we were, man. Like just like 2-3 years ago. Even when I remember when Stutzman was a freshman and everybody was talking about it was kind of the same thing with Kip, just how instinctive he was, and he didn't really know what he was doing, but he was still making plays just because he understood it that well, And Alex, I'm gonna go to you, man. So are you in the same boat there, or do you kind of have a different opinion kind of
No,
with
I agree with Ryan too on that one. Danny, and then you got Kit right next to him, two
Yep.
studs, bro. But I really do think that Kobe is gonna have a big season this year. I think so. He's been second, third string for past 2 years. We thought he was gonna come in and have a chance to be that starter, but Kip came through and took it. But I think this is gonna be his third year, right? As a junior,
Yeah, I
Kobe,
think that's right.
Kobe,
Kobe
Yep.
McKenzie, yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
think,
agree
man,
with
just
that.
being in that system for that long and understanding everything and buying in, like BB said, it's a player-led team instead of a coach-led team. You know what I mean? So I think
Sure.
him being more of a leader, being an older guy on the team, I think he's gonna step up and do some good things, man. Because I've heard that there's a couple packages with him and Danny, and
That
then
are
you
they're
got Danny
split.
and then Kip. But I
Yep.
heard whenever it's Kobe and Danny, it's a pretty strong little duo right there. So,
For sure.
and he's just a run stopper, man. And he's shown that he can cover a little bit in space, but I mean I don't expect him to go out there and cover every down. But I think he'll
Yep.
he'll make some pretty big strides this year. So we'll be really deep in that linebacker room for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I'm in the mindset, and I don't know if this is like a hot take or not, honestly, but in my head, I think Kip has the potential to be even better than Danny is. I think he's that like talented. I think they're built different, but I think, man, he's so fast, dude. He gets to the ball like just in an instant. So I expect huge things from both of them. Like Ryan said, Kip and Danny. I think this year, man. I think the backers and the safeties are going to be like. I mean, I don't really know. I don't really know what to say. I mean, I'm not going to put like expect like a top 10 defense or something like that. But man, they're just going to be making so many plays, man. Like I don't really know what my expectations are, but I just they're going to be doing big things though. So
Well, here's the run stopping. I think we're going to be phenomenal.
not worried
I
about the
do.
run at all.
Yeah, and that's where the big question is, and that's where my questions have always been: can you cover?
Yep.
If we
The
go with a
middle.
man, are you going to be able to run with that tight end? Or if you do zone, do you going to have football IQ to not let somebody run straight across your face mask and not go with them?
Go with them.
You know what I mean? For a certain
Mhm.
degree, it's like, you know, I know it happens fast for these players. I mean, we all play, it happens quick. So, but that's where you hear Brent Venables saying, when one of my favorite quotes from him, the reporter was like, "Well, you can't practice that type of." And
Yeah,
he's
you
like, "You
can.
can? Yeah, you can."
Hmm.
And that's what, hey, BV brings it every practice. You see him down there stretching with them. He's, running with them. So their training is like they're playing a game. So I fully expect this defense to be a top 10 defense.
Hmm.
I do. Maybe that's your hot take.
Maybe.
I like that.
I do. I mean, I do. Yep, I do too.
I do too. I like that a lot. Older team, man, you got to be more disciplined. It's gonna win you some ball games, bro.
Yep. Yeah, and a guy that we didn't even talk about. It was a starter last year, and at times played some pretty good football. And he he gets a bad rap, man. But it's kind of a crazy deal because now Kobe was actually like behind him, backing him up, and now he's like leapfrogging to where I mean Kobe's right there, probably next in line after Danny leaves him or Lewis Carter, but Jaron Kanik is a guy that I think he's just so raw to the position, but athletically, man, he's got some good traits. Ryan, you think he can you think he could see the field this year any or I mean he fighting uphill for sure though.
Yeah. Well, Kip Lewis is the one that actually jumped him because he was playing Willbacker.
That's right.
Uh,
Yep, that's right.
yeah, I think he will. I think him and you'll definitely see him in Temple. You know, I think the question is, and Alex, you can address this: are you going to see him versus Alabama, versus
Mhm.
Auburn, versus in some of these big games? And has he made those steps? Because last year he's running around like a crazy person. I mean, people are running right by him. Not that he's not trying,
No,
he just
no,
moving from safety out of high school. He's still learning
yeah,
linebackers.
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, do you think is there any way he can make that much of a jump to see playing time?
It's all about, man, if he really wants it. I mean, he's one of the best athletes in that linebacker
Right.
room.
Yep,
Probably
yep.
the fastest, I would think.
Yeah.
Probably
Him and
him and
Kip.
Kip,
Yeah.
probably the two fastest linebackers. But it's just raw, man. I think what is it? He's only been playing linebacker for what, since he got
I
into
think
college, right?
this
Right.
should be. I think it's third year.
Third
So
year.
third year,
Yeah.
third year
So
in the
I
system.
mean, that right there, man. And especially you got to think, and BV's defense, man. That's like it's like taking math all over again after 20 years. You know what I mean? You got
Yeah,
to study, 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 study. So I think, man, the more if he just stays in the program, and not doesn't enter the transfer portal and stuff like that, I think he could become a pretty good linebacker for us. And
yeah,
either this year he could definitely help us out like depth wise now, but that's what it's so crazy because how talented we are on defense. If you look, bro, every position, that first or that second guy, they could go play for, like BB said, they could go play for another team in the country and start.
yep, yep.
You know what I mean? So I
Dude,
don't
he
really
played good
see
football
him.
last year.
Say it again.
He played good football last year at points.
Yeah, no,
He's
yeah,
just
he's a stud, but it's
yeah,
just it's all about. I think with him, man, goes back to what I said about discipline. I think he just got to be. Once he learns that discipline on that defense and understands the linebacker position, he'll be fine.
yep. Because that's when the athleticism can take over, and you're just not even thinking about it no more. You just reacting because you know exactly where you're supposed to be. And at times last year, I think that was his problem. Is just he was overthinking everything, like overanalyzing, and he couldn't let his athleticism, take over
I
because he
think
was just overthinking everything.
the game kind of sped up for him too at
Yeah.
times.
Yep.
And that's
Yep.
just inexperience there. You know what I mean? I mean, 3 years playing linebacker is tough. Then you
Tough.
got to think about
Especially in
his
BV.
third year playing in the SEC. Hey, better learn quick, bud, because it's gonna get tough
Right.
out there. It's not gonna get any easier.
For sure. So, all right. Next, we'll move on. We'll address the cornerback room here. I I think there's some pretty good depth there too, man.
One
You
other
know,
linebacker, Samuel
oh,
Asamakai.
Sammy,
Samuel
That's I,
Masigo. To
that's
me,
what I call him.
yeah, yeah.
Hey, look out for him. And sorry, we can move on after this.
No,
But I
you're
didn't
good. You're good.
him because he's going to be in the cheetah. I expect him
Yeah,
yeah,
because Deshaun, I think it'll be Deshaun when he does come back, but he's not practicing right now. So, but I fully expect Sammy to get some run when they go to the big cheetah
hmm
uh,
yeah.
compared to Kendall. Yeah. But anyway, okay, now we can move on. I didn't want to.
No, I was gonna get after corner. I was gonna do cheetah, and then we were gonna
Okay.
get the D line because that's for me. I don't even think it's not that he's not in the linebacker room. I just consider him, like you said, a cheetah. And
Yeah.
so I don't even, he'll probably be the backup cheetah to Kendall Dolby. Let's go. We can go there now.
Yeah.
Let's do the cheetah now. And to me, this was like one of the most like underrated player on the defense last year was Kendall Dolby, who will be, the starting cheetah. Just like I think, just like in the regular defense, he'll be the starting cheetah. But obviously, you got your goal lines, you got your bigger packages where, huh? Oh, I thought you were no. Okay.
No, I got my eyes like one eye's a little crooked or something. I don't know. Continue.
No, I was just saying, man. Like in the bigger packages that we run out there, goal line stands, whatever. Obviously, he's not going to be in the ball game. It'll be like you said, Desan, or it'll be Sammy Omasigo. Ryan, I mean, you kind of addressed it already, but what's kind of your expectations for the room, and what do you think is going to happen for Team 130?
Yeah, I mean, just like every other position, I expect it to be very good. I mean,
Yeah.
from watching Kendall and how he finished the year last year,
Yep.
he made phenomenal plays. Now, he did make some mistakes in that Arizona game. I went back and rewatched it. But there are a lot of people did. But he also made some fantastic plays. He had a couple sacks. Um, so I fully, and that was his first year.
Yeah, he came. He's a JUCO guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
JUCO guy.
So
Yep.
this is his second year. He understands his position better. Um, I think he'll be phenomenal. And we got Sammy backing him up. I expect Deshaun to play there at times when they go bigger. I also expect Peyton to
There'll
get
be a
him
lot
on
of
the
fight for it.
field, maybe to rotate in a little bit. Uh, so yeah, I mean, just like every other part of this defense, I expect it to be um, very, very good.
Yep. Alex, are you in the same boat there? You got any different opinions there?
No, not really, man. He just kind of said everything I was gonna say. I was just gonna talk about, you still got that depth. You even got Peyton. They move him over there too. You got Woody slides over there every now and then. So I mean, you're gonna have somebody that can cover and play some pretty good defense in that cheating position. And like you said,
Yep.
whenever we need somebody bigger down there, they'll slide Sammy and Deshaun down there. I would think I'm not the defense coach, but watching the team
That's what
last
we're
year,
hearing.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Seeing last year's the way we went, how they went about things last year with them too, you're feeling good about them. I am for sure. I'm not
yeah,
too worried about that defense, man. And it's kind of funny to say that because we ain't been able to say that in about 5 years, so it actually
right.
feels good.
Yep. It does. It does, and that's what I like about the cheetah. Like when Brent got hired and they were talking about it and they were kind of going over everything, and I like you can put anybody there pretty much and just let you know, and like Kendall, he's more of a corner. That's what he played, and so when we're playing the normal defense, he's able to kind of be like a nickel kind of guy.
Hmm.
And then we bring Sammy in who plays linebacker, and then Desan who's kind of that hybrid edge linebacker, whatever you want to say, but it's just such a diverse position, and BV pretty much just says that go make plays. Just find the football and get after it.
Yep.
So, I
Absolutely.
yeah. So I think I agree with both y'all, man. I think it's just every position on the defense should be pretty stout, pretty deep, pretty talented. I mean, whatever you want to say, and
Right.
that's kind of that's kind of just where I'm
And
at
they
too.
have experience.
Mm.
That's it.
This is an old defense. I
Yep.
mean, you look at every position, there's a redshirt senior or senior
Yep.
starting,
Hmm.
right?
Yep.
Billy, Woody, Stutzman,
DJ
DJ,
Terry,
or yeah, I mean, Ethan Downs.
Ethan Downs. Yep.
I mean, that
Yep.
this is the type of defense that can be very good,
Yeah,
and I expect it to be with our head coach.
Yep.
I agree.
I agree. I agree. So I think that pretty much covers the cheetah, man. I think at any one point we could see anybody run out there. Like you said, Peyton Bowen
Yeah,
could be out there. Because I could even see us running some like what is it 3-3-5, 3-2-5, 3-3-6, whatever you want to do. I mean, or yeah, whatever. But there's so many
yeah.
different
Add it to
scheme.
11.
Right, as long as it's 11, that's yeah, right. But we could run so many schemes out there where we're gonna have five DBs on the field, and just because I think that's the strong suit of the team. So that and the linebackers, man, yeah, I'm with y'all. I think it's gonna be nice. So we'll get to the corners, and I think obviously Woody. I think Woody will be one of the corners. I just don't know. Like I think Alex mentioned it earlier, they're moving him all around, and so I do think he's going to start at one of the corner spots. And if Gentry is healthy, man, I think he might get the other one. Ryan, what do you think about it? And give me who you think will be the two corners, and then your expectations for the season.
Well, let's. I don't want to hear. I don't want to Alex say, "Oh, he said everything I was going to say."
Yeah.
Let's hear this guy. What about the corners? What do you think?
Nah, I think it's gonna be the same as last year. Woody and Gentry. I mean, they
I
proved
I
it. They
agree.
proved it from last year that they can
Yep.
do it. The other two guys, especially Gentry Williams, you know,
Yeah.
if he's healthy, he's on the field, he's a dog. So, and I mean, I like Woody. He's sound on the other side, but I would like to see like Jacoby Johnson get a little bit more playing time. I think he could I think he's more dynamic, kind of like Gentry. I think he has a knack for the football. He can go get it. And then also Peyton's little brother too.
Yep.
What's
Eli.
it, Eli? I don't know if y'all watched any of his highlights or anything, but I mean, anytime that ball goes towards him, man, he's either intercepting the ball or he's ripping the ball out, taking it back 75 to the house. You know what I mean? So, and like you say, you got Walker too. How do you say how do you name Connie
Kanai.
Walker?
Kanai.
Kanai. My bad, Kanai. If you're watching this, my bad, big dog.
Yeah.
Kanai Walker.
Hopefully you are.
Good. He's a stud, bro. And you got Dez. Brought in Dez from what was that, San Diego State?
Yep.
I mean, both of them 6 foot. Was Dez like 6'2"?
Close. I know
Yeah.
Jacoby.
Yeah,
I don't know what he's listed at, but he looks massive though. I don't know what
Yeah.
his height is, but he looked to be about
He's
6'3",
like,
6'4".
Yeah, he's like
Yeah,
he's
he's like 6. They're listing him, I think, 6'1".
6'1".
Really?
Yeah,
Damn.
I mean
Yeah.
he's a
It's
stud.
still good though. It's still good for a corner, man. We ain't had that in a long time, but
215, 6 foot, 215. Yeah, I mean
yeah,
can't beat
that'll
that.
play.
we haven't had size like that, man, in a minute, and
Yep.
it's nice to see. It really is.
Right.
For sure. Ryan, you want to? You can.
No,
you,
yeah. Well, I'll say it this time. I agree with everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, there he is. Yeah.
It's like we've been saying. This is another position. This may be the deepest position
hmm
between all defensive backs, our safeties and our corners. Corners, we feel good. What about 3 on each side?
Yeah.
for sure.
You know what I mean? Woody,
It's 6 deep
Jacoby.
easy.
Yeah, Woody, Jacoby, Dez on
Dez,
this one.
Kanai and Gentry.
Kanai, Gentry, maybe
Eli.
throw Eli in there. Yeah, so it's just another position group that I expect to be very good.
Yeah.
You got experience. Now we have size. Kanai Walker's, he's all of 6 foot. I mean,
Mhm.
210.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what he's listed, but
15.
he looks.
I
thick.
mean, he's a big boy.
Yeah, he is.
So, and Gentry's a ball hog.
Yeah.
Woody is that sound, consistent. Yeah.
You know what you're gonna get.
Right.
hmm
Yeah.
For sure.
So this is another position group that I expect very big things from.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Yep. And I mean, I don't have anything else to add because it's pretty much just straightforward, man. Just go let these dudes do what they do. That's
Yeah.
what it's going to come down to. I think the position that we're about to hit next is it's the engine, man. It going to be how good this defensive line is will be the determining factor in how good the defense is, in my opinion. If we can get to the quarterback on the edge and we can play, solid defense in the middle, I do think we could be a top 10 defense, man.
hmm
And so I'm going to incorporate the edge into the defensive line group. So, and we'll hit both. And Ethan Downs is a for sure lock. On the other side, on the other edge, is kind of up in the air right now. I think it's either Caden Woolard or Mason Thomas, and then the two on the inside, probably Dominique Williams and Jaden Jackson, if I had to imagine. Now, I don't know. You got the 6-year guy in there, so I want to hear y'all's opinion. Okay, I want to hear y'all's opinion. I want to hear what y'all got. Alex, you want to lead the way on this one?
Yeah. Let me. I think, man. It the defensive line is what's going to make that secondary and them linebackers, take some pressure off those
Yep.
guys.
For sure.
And we've had a pass rusher since what, Benito? That's the last
Wow.
time we've had like a really good pass rusher.
Yep.
And it kind of helped that defense out too. I know we were small back then, but man, if we can get our Mason Thomas, he's supposed to be a stud for us. We ain't really get to see him play much last year. Man, if he can stay healthy, I think he'll take over that other side. I'm really excited to see that Caden Woolard kid. He looks big. I don't know how fast he is, but I mean, he looks pretty strong. So we just gotta have somebody to get back to the backfield, man. I don't know if that's got to be Jaden Jackson or Grayson Halton. Somebody.
Whoever.
We just somebody's gotta take over. Shoot, even though PJ, I think it's time for him to step up. You know, we've been high on him. We recruited him. We brought him in. He was raw at the position. You know, I think was this the second year. I think if he, you know, if he gets the right mental game, I think he could take over and, you know, compete for that other side. Because I think, like you said, Ethan, he's got that unlocked. That's a cap. You know, that's Captain America right there. Captain Norman,
Yeah, it is.
they say.
It is.
But no, yeah, like you said, man, if we can get to that, if we can get an edge rusher, and I hope it's our Mason Thomas. I really do. I've been pulling for him since last year because I heard good things, and all his teammates all his teammates give him high praises all the time. So I'm excited, man. I just hope everybody stays healthy. You know, we still got 1 week, so anything can happen.
For sure. Yep. And Ryan, it's probably the same deal. It's kind of just all the same people, and I think one of the key pieces of the room is DJ Terry, because Dominique Williams is obviously going to be a starter, and I think it's Jaden Jackson, but when they rotate out and DJ Terry comes in the game, there's got to be somebody next to him, and luckily, he's a 6-year senior, strong as hell, been through everything, already played in the SEC, so he knows what to expect and stuff. But I want to hear your thoughts on it. Give me who you think will start, your expectations, etc. So, floor is yours, man.
Yeah, well, definitely Ethan Downs, and I expect big things from him. I expect him to be somebody who can get to the quarterback this year. I expect him to take more steps ahead than what he has been the past couple years, which he's been sound, but he has a tendency to disappear. He had a big game at Texas, and then the next couple games, you never even called his number, right?
Yep.
He can't have any more games like that. He's got to be a force. People have got to have to focus on him. Which I think they will. I think he's taking steps towards that. And then I got, of course, Dom Williams. He's going to be that big centerpiece. I have DJ starting next to him because he is that 6-year guy.
Mm-hmm.
With that experience, I do think Jaden Jackson will play a lot. And then I have our Mason Thomas starting on that other side.
Okay.
But I fully expect PJ, Caden to either be the second unit when both of them come off, or that 3 rotate on the other side from Ethan. Or is it Ethan and then Caden comes in for him, or whatever.
You got
That's what I was going to ask.
I was going to say that was another player that I said I didn't hear his name, and don't forget about Trace Ford.
Yeah.
That is a man that has played a lot of football. Now, is he going to be your go sack the quarterback guy? Probably not. Right? He's your very good at reading screens. He'll stay home. He's like an Ethan Downs where he's consistent, but he's also a little bit more athletic.
Mm-hmm.
So he can drop back and be maybe a little pass coverage type of guy for you if you want to blitz the linebacker and drop your end. Whatever, like a Deshaun will do, or when he gets up on the line. So I expect him to get some play in some packages.
Yep.
And then I know people don't see much. I've heard the breakdown talk about David Stone, and he sometimes runs out with the 2s. I expect him to get some play, especially early. And here's the deal: what if he plays the whole second half at Temple, and he has 5 sacks, just murdering people, right?
Exactly.
And then he does it again versus Houston, and then he does it again versus Tulane. Well, now we're talking about a co-starter here. Now we're talking about somebody that's going to get rotation. So I fully expect David Stone to work his way into somehow seeing the field in the big games, because he's too good of a player not to. So, throw him in there. Grayson Halton, I'm hearing phenomenal things. He's the DT that can get to the quarterback and get some sacks because he's shifty. He's not as big as the other ones, so he's not going to be as good as stopping the run, but he's got quick that first move, and then shaky. So I expect him to have a big year. And I like him. He's got a great personality, a funny guy, but he's also can be a dog too.
Hmm.
So, and Sears, another senior out there. So, I expect to see a lot of different guys. I expect him to rotate a lot of guys.
It's that depth, man.
Right.
You can put anybody out there.
Yeah. But starters, yeah, I think I'm with y'all. The same four. Besides, I know y'all said DJ, but I have him starting just because 6-year guy.
And I
I like
think
that.
I think it's gonna be Terry and Grayson Halton running out on ones. That first team to go out there.
No Dominic Williams?
Oh no, I mean yeah. I'm sorry, Dominic and Grayson Halton. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Oh,
Oh, okay. That's interesting. I like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, you just got canceled, bud. You're not
Yeah.
gonna be back. I'm just kidding.
No,
Yeah,
yeah, I
Grayson
agree
Halton's
with you.
starting.
Hey man, give me a break. It's my birthday last night. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
look, now you got
I,
Hey, so I agree with obviously with both y'all, man. I got R. Mason Thomas, Jaden Jackson, Dominic Williams, and Ethan Downs. Those are my four, and I like the rotations that we can get, man. Like Ryan, I hope David Stone works his way into being a dude because that just means that this coaching staff is doing what they're supposed to do. When you get those 5 stars, man, you want them, to develop early and develop and show the next class of 5 stars that hey, you come in, you do what you're supposed to do. Like I think he put on like 10, 15 pounds when he got here.
Mhm.
You do what you're supposed to do. You can see that
95.
early, and you can work your way into, potentially playing a huge role for the team. And it's just
Absolutely.
it's a good thing.
And on your point about 5-star, what was Jaden Jackson?
3,
3-star.
Yeah.
And guess who's starting?
crazy.
So that's why I've been saying it on all our podcasts. Sure, it's very good to get these 5 stars for the next recruiting classes or players or whatever. But there's always those 3 or 4 that you find a jewel.
hmm
It's all, you know what I mean? So
Oh yeah. Well,
yeah,
my thing is I don't understand how it's possible though, because it's not like he went to some scrub school. He went to IMG Academy, played right next to David Stone. It's like I don't. That's the discussion for another day, But
right.
it's one of those deals where, like you said, man, these young dudes being able to play early, it's a big deal. It's not. I don't want it to be swept under the rug, man. Like the amount of times that a true freshman walks in to the University of Oklahoma and really anywhere, and starts on the defensive line, it's a huge deal, man. And I think he's gonna. I mean, from what I've seen, and shoot, even when we had bowl prep last year, Alamo Bowl against Arizona, they're talking about this dude could already walked off the IMG field pretty much into the bowl prep, and they're like, dude, this guy could. I wish he was playing in the bowl
Right.
game. It's like, it's just crazy, man. It's a crazy deal, but for the defense as a whole, we got dudes at every level. We got talent. We got experience, dude. We got it's just got to come together, man. And if it
hmm
does, I think we can make some noise.
Yeah.
I fully expect us, and I know that, hey, this may be the hot take. This is a top 10 defense at every level. Where's the weakness?
Yeah.
Where we just went over the whole defense. You got experience, you got size, you got depth at every position.
hmm
So where's the weakness?
For me, it's edge, because we just haven't seen that.
Okay, that's a good, great point. But
Yeah.
by the middle of the season, we'll know that's not a weakness. I don't expect it to be. It better not
Yeah.
be.
Somebody's got to step out of that pass rusher, man. That's what we
Yeah,
do.
that's all it is. That's it. That is
Right.
absolutely it. Because everywhere else, I mean, we got proven dudes that are just absolute ballers.
And
The edge-
linebacker coverage.
that linebacker coverage for sure,
That
but I
might be
think
the 2 questions, but they're not weaknesses.
no.
Right.
I don't know, man. I expect big things even from the edge group. I mean,
Right.
I think it's on paper it's a weakness, but somebody's gonna emerge. I mean, I just
It's that
Somebody
defensive
will.
line of a whole, man. Somebody you got to get pressure.
Yep. Yep. Somebody's gonna emerge, man. I don't know who it'll be.
You'll see
You
it
know what
by
you're gonna
game
get.
set.
You
By
know who
game
you're
3,
gonna
you'll
get.
see it.
Yeah. You know who you're gonna get from Ethan Downs. There's no question marks there. It's just that other side, man. It like Alex said, our Mason Thomas. They've been talking about him for. It feels like a long time, but he's got to stay healthy. He gets hurt. He's been hurt a bunch, so.
Hmm.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm excited to see that
They say
that
you'll be
group.
seeing him on Sundays. They said
I'm excited.
they were saying that last year.
Yeah.
So
All
gotta keep
right.
them boys healthy, man.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. So that's how we feel that we think we think it could be a special year for the defensive side of the football. So that's our breakdown, man. We got high expectations. So anything else y'all want to add before we get on to these week 0 matchups?
I think we covered pretty much everything.
Yep. Top 10.
Okay.
Bust.
Yep.
All right, let's break down these week 0 matches. Man, had a couple of good games. I mean, I didn't really expect much of it,
Wow.
but got started off with a bang, man. Florida State, Georgia Tech in Dublin. I mean, just a hell of a game. It was from the start, hell of a game. So, what y'all think about it, Ryan? What'd you think?
Well, I told y'all.
You did say it, man.
I
You
didn't
did
have
say it.
them,
Did
didn't have
say it.
them outright, but I was dang sure taking the plus 10.5, and it was. I gave my reasons last time. It's hard to when you lose 11 players or 12 players, however many they lost. It's hard to make up that production. Now they're still talented. That defensive line, very, very talented. I'm surprised they got pushed around like they did.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what y'all saw in Georgia Tech? You saw some spread, but you also saw some triple option,
Yep.
especially around the goal line area.
Yeah, the goal line for sure.
So,
Yeah.
Haynes
And they were
King-
manhandling that
Man.
defensive line, man.
Yeah. which that's supposed to be the strength of Florida State.
It was blowing my mind.
Yeah,
They're getting
Well-
blown back like 10 yards.
yeah.
Getting
Uh,
gashed, right?
Hey, we need to give credit to Georgia Tech and that Haynes King. Haynes King is he's a good quarterback, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he played
Yeah.
hell of a game.
Yeah, he did. He was last year. He was good, but this year, Georgia Tech may be a little sneaky.
Yeah, I agree.
They
I mean,
got that their wide receiver, the 8. I forget his name. Like I said, I know numbers. I know one of them is Haynes. I think that's 11. That's the running back. He had a phenomenal game. They only had. Now I looked up these stats. I forget them now, but like 93 passing yards.
Mm-hmm.
dang.
Something crazy like that. I
That's
don't want to
crazy.
say that. I just looked it up. But what I'm saying is they had like 200 yards rushing.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That defensive line just was getting blown off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's here it is. Okay, they had 146, but they only threw it 16 times.
Yeah.
That's not a spread offense.
I don't know what that is.
Well, they had 190 yards rushing on 36 attempts.
It's called balance.
Yeah, 16 to 36. That's real balance.
Yeah.
No, they're still definitely a run-heavy team. So them people saying they went to the spread, they're more open. They're not just a triple option team. They have a kid that seems like he can throw the ball, but they're definitely going to rely more on the run.
Yeah.
I said DJ Agaluglu was going to struggle. He did better than I thought he would. 19 of 27 for 193 yards.
Man,
Alright.
I'm not impressed with him whatsoever, man.
You look timid out there, man. That
Look real
defense getting to
timid.
him.
Real timid, and he missed some throws. Anyway, I told y'all.
Hey, that kicker for Georgia Tech needs an NIL deal right now.
Oh, he probably got it on the plane. He
Oh.
probably got it on the plane.
52, then a 59-yarder. Hey,
Hey, don't hey, Florida State can still get in the playoffs. They go 11-1.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They'll have to
Man,
beat
DJ is
Clemson. They'll have
trash,
to beat
man.
That's
Miami.
just that's a tough loss. It kind of depends on what Georgia Tech does this year too.
Yeah.
Because what
DJ is
they were
trash.
undefeated last year, didn't get in the playoffs.
Yeah. Huh?
They're undefeated and didn't make the playoffs last year.
That,
Listen,
yeah,
all right. I mean,
that's rough.
That's terrible.
that
I
man
would
gonna
be-
lead them
how-
to 7-5.
Yeah. How upset would you be? OU went 12-0, didn't get in the playoff.
Yeah, I'm knocking on somebody's door.
I would probably be
I mean,
institutionalized. Probably.
very upset.
Yeah.
I mean, I would probably be in the hospital if I'm just gonna be completely honest with you. I mean, or somebody else would be in the hospital. I don't know who. Somebody in the hospital, man. I don't know who it is.
That's funny.
I mean,
But what do
I
y'all?
don't know.
What y'all think?
DJ, he's trash, man. I can't. I've said it since day one. I've said it since day one. Even when he was at Clemson, he don't got it, man. He don't got it. He don't got the gene.
He does.
You can tell. You can tell. And
Yeah.
he ain't the only one. He ain't the first one. He ain't gonna be the last, man. It just, you know, Clemson. They had to put in with the dude that's there, Cade Klubnik or whatever. He transferred to Oregon State, which he did play all right at Oregon State, but you know, I don't know. I got nothing much to say. He's average. Then he goes Florida State, coming off an undefeated season. You know, they got high expectations.
It was
He
the
ain't
first game.
He ain't it. They showing him on the sideline. He looked like he about to cry. And then it's just like, you know,
Yeah.
it is
I
what
got-
it is.
I
mean,
got
don't
hand
know
up
what
accountability. You know, I said that he was going to do good and he's going to have.
I appreciate that.
Okay, I did. I had it. I thought they were going to at least play a little bit better and get through this game with a close win, maybe. You know,
For sure.
especially being somewhere different. I guess it's not a home game, and that's what he needs. But like you said, I just watched him, his body language, all that. Even last 2 years hadn't been good. You know,
Totally.
I was just trying to boost the kids' morale, and it didn't help.
This podcast, this is what we gonna do, man. We gonna give some takes, all right? We gonna lose some.
Oh yeah. Hey,
We
if
gonna
I'm wrong,
I can promise
I'm
you, we
wrong.
gonna be.
If I'm right, you're gonna know I'm right.
Yeah, you know, yes sir. It gonna go both ways. Yeah, it's gonna go both ways for sure.
Yeah.
But all right, next game that we're gonna get to. Montana State goes to the University of New Mexico and wins 35-31.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a guy on this podcast that said the Lobos were gonna get it done.
Oh, that guy right there.
That guy, yeah, Ryan Mullins, man. Ryan Mullins. Listen, all right. Me and Alex, man, we saw the writing on the wall, man. We Montana State a good team. New Mexico, man, they're not a football school, man. They a basketball school. Everybody knows that.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of a sad deal. I mean, New Mexico was up that whole game, and it wasn't.
were.
They weren't up like by 7. They were up like 10, 14.
Yeah, at one point it was 14.
What do good teams do? What do
Yeah.
good teams do? They finish, man.
Yep.
Yeah, which, okay, I said New Mexico was going to win. I knew it would be close. They didn't make enough plays. However, they had 2 fumble returns for touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's great.
I don't know if you know that,
Yeah,
but
I did see that.
I did say take the over, and I did say take the under on Florida State. And I was right on both of those. So.
All right, get in the comments. Start taking Ryan's picks.
Oh,
Start
yeah.
taking-
Well, what am I? So now I'm 3 for 1.
Yeah.
So
Hey, but if you noticed, all 4 underdogs hit yesterday.
That's
if you
right.
took the points,
If just win, yeah.
well, Montana State was
Or not the yeah. I'm sorry, you're right. The
Montana
spread
State was a favorite, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, on paper though, you're like Montana State should not be.
They should have dominated it, but I
They
think
should have dominated, honestly.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's
Hey, New Mexico's got a good coach. I expect him to turn that. At least not have him like a. I don't expect him to be a top 25 program, but I expect him to be solid
yeah,
in the years to come.
for sure.
Yep. All right, next game. And the last game we'll cover, hell of a ball game. Hell of a ball game. SMU versus Nevada. Um, I mean, I really enjoyed watching this one, man. It was a good game. It was a good game. It was late night, but it was a good game. You know, Nevada was up, should have won, in my opinion. You know, SMU, but SMU came back.
What do good teams do?
Yep.
Yep, that's right, baby. That's
He's kind
right.
of impressed me.
Who's that quarterback out there right now? SMU.
Preston Stone.
There it is. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he came to Norman last year too. He's a good player.
Yeah. Yeah, and that, I forget his name, 82 who caught the game winner.
Team.
What's his name?
Dude.
He ran all over us.
Yeah, he did. I'm terrible with names.
Or he
but-
caught, not all over us, but he caught a lot of balls.
Yeah.
I forget his name, but his number's 82. And he caught the game winner
Yeah.
for them.
But SMU a good team, man. I don't. What do you? Let me ask y'all this, man. How do you think they're gonna do in the ACC? Do you think they'll, be? Do you think they're like a middle of the pack, or do you think they're, they can compete for the top at some point?
I think right now they're in the middle of the pack. I think, first year, like I said, middle of the pack. Next year, if they do pretty good this year, they'll be up top next year. Who
I
else?
can't
is
remember
in the
which
league?
one of y'all. I can't
I'm not-
remember which
when I
one of
say
y'all
when I
talked
say up
about it.
top, when I say up top, I'm not saying like one or two. Like, I'm saying like 4, 5, maybe somewhere right there.
Right, right. Yeah, I can't remember which one of y'all said it on the last podcast, but y'all talked about how the NIL will be. They ain't gonna be short there.
Yeah.
Because
That's
because
for
of
damn
that's for damn sure. So I think they get that ACC and then they get the NIL. Man, I think at some point they could be competing for that top spot. What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah, I think so. I think they have the right coach too.
Yeah.
I think he's a good developer. So I wouldn't be surprised in a year or two you start seeing some big time players going there. You start seeing SMU on the top 100 recruits or top 247. So yeah, I expect them to be. I could see them like third in 2 years.
Good.
You know,
You
Yeah, I
see
like
a lot
that.
of guys transfer in there too.
yeah.
That's what I've noticed.
A
Yeah.
lot of high 4
Yeah.
stars,
Absolutely.
transferring off in there.
Yep. Yep. But yeah, they didn't play very good that first half yesterday, man. But they came back in the second half. They took it to them like they were supposed to do, and you got to give them respect for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, all the underdogs came to play yesterday.
You made your money
No
if
doubt.
you took the underdogs in the spread.
No doubt. No
Yep.
doubt. Yeah, but, well, I mean, I'm good with wrapping up now, man. Y'all got anything else you want to add? I don't know. It'll probably be Wednesday or Thursday for the next podcast. Previewing week one, maybe. I mean, we'll talk about the depth chart, kind of see where we hit, where we missed potentially, and then like I said, preview the game against Temple, man. So y'all got anything you want to add?
I don't think so, man. I think we kind of hit everything we wanted to talk about today.
For sure.
It's game
Ryan?
week, baby.
Yeah.
It's game
time,
week, baby.
time to go, man. It's time to strap up that chin strap.
Let's do it. I mean,
Quick week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's coming. It'll be here before you know it.
and I'm hoping that when we talk about the, after the game stuff, I hope it's just, I hope really nothing comes out of it. Because if it's pretty vanilla, I mean, we did our job, man. We went out there and handled business.
I'm excited
For
to see and talk about some of those young players.
Yeah.
That's what I'm.
That'll be the big thing that comes out, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
For sure.
well, all right, man. Yeah. Just want to add this. Please, subscribe, like it. The channels. We'll be posting on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Everything. We'll be posting everywhere. So please like and subscribe, man. We'll start building this thing together. So, thank y'all for listening, and Boomer Sooner.
Boomer.
Boom soon. See y'all.
See ya.